So, good morning, students. Today we can study about the scapula. So, this is our scapula. I think you will be familiar about this bone. Okay, and the scapula is seen in the posterior part of our thoracic cage, like here, back aspect of our body. Like this, we can see scapula in our body. Okay, and this you already studied. Scapula is an example for a flat bone. Flat bone. You can see it is a flat bone, and it has two surfaces. Here we can see. So this is the dorsal surface, and this is the ventral surface. So it has two surfaces, the dorsal surface and the ventral surface, and it has three processes. Processes means projections. We already studied. So these projections, we can see some projections in the scapula, and this projection, this process is known as coracoid process. And here we can see in the posteriorly there is a triangular shaped process. This is known as spinous process, and at the end of the spinous process, here we can see another process that is known as acromion process. So there will be three processes: coracoid process, acromion process, and spinous process. Three processes, and here we can see it's a triangular shaped bone. So it has three borders. Here there is a superior border, a lateral medial border, and a lateral border. So three borders, that is superior border, medial border, and lateral border. And it has three angles. This is lateral angle, superior angle, and inferior angle. So three angles: lateral angle, superior angle, and inferior angle. So scapula has two surfaces, ventral surface and a dorsal surface. It has three processes: coracoid process, acromion process, then a spinous process. Three processes, and it has three borders. There is a superior border, medial border, and lateral border. And it has three angles: lateral angle. Here we can see the lateral angle, it expanded and forms the glenoid cavity, and superior angle and inferior angle. So three angles. Okay. And we can go through the side determination, which side it belongs to, whether it is right side or left side. Okay. For that, we can see this is our lateral border. So this thick border, the thick one is a lateral border, and the upper part of the lateral border, here we can see there is an oval shaped glenoid cavity. So while placing in our body, this part should come laterally. So like this, laterally. So you have to place this thing laterally. Laterally means from the midline, away from the midline. Okay. So laterally, and then look at the surfaces. Okay. So this is our dorsal surface, and this is the ventral surface. So here we can see ventral surface is concave, and it has some ridges. Three ridges can be seen. So this is the ventral surface. So ventral surface should come anteriorly. Okay. And dorsal surface, in the dorsal surface we can see there is a spinous process which divides the dorsal surface into two. Okay. So this is the dorsal surface. So dorsal surface and this spinous process and this acromion process should come posterior. Okay. So we have to keep like this. Okay, like this in our body. Okay. So this is actually belongs to the left side, left scapula. Okay. So this should come laterally. That first you keep in mind. Okay. So this glenoid cavity and this lateral border should go laterally. Okay. And this one, dorsal surface. How we can identify the dorsal surface? By seeing this spinous process. Okay. So the spinous process and acromion process, these are seen in the dorsal surface. So this dorsal surface should go posteriorly. Okay. So this is the spinous process. So in our body we can see it is placed like this. like this you can see. Okay, so it belongs to left side. Okay. And look at the features. So we already told that it has two surfaces. Okay. So the scapula has two surfaces, ventral surface and a dorsal surface. So look at the ventral surface. So ventral surface is otherwise known as subscapular fossa. Subscapular fossa. Okay. So the subscapularis muscle is inserted into the subscapular fossa. Okay. So and this whole surface we can see it is divided into three regions by small ridges. We can see three ridges. One, see, ridges can be seen. Okay. This one. So in the costal ventral surface, this ventral surface is also known as costal surface because it will be related to our ribs. Okay. So this surface is also known as ventral surface, is also known as costal surface, and this costal surface has some ridges. You can see some ridges in the costal surface, and towards the lateral border we can see a thickened ridge, thickened portion, this one towards laterally. So this is the ventral surface or costal surface, or it's known as subscapular fossa. Okay. So that is the ventral surface. Then coming to the dorsal surface. So this is the dorsal surface of scapula. Here we can see this dorsal surface is divided into two by the spinous process. This triangular shaped spinous process divides the dorsal surface into two. Okay. Upper portion, this is known as suprascapular fossa. Upper portion, that is known as supraspinous fossa, above the spine. Supraspinous fossa, and lower portion, this is known as infraspinous fossa. Okay. So dorsal surface is again divided into two, supraspinous fossa and infraspinous fossa by the spinous process, by the spine. This is the spine of scapula. So spine divides the dorsal surface into suprascapular fossa, supraspinous fossa and infraspinous fossa. Okay. So this is the dorsal surface. Dorsal surface. Then coming to the borders. Borders we can see keeping in the anatomical position. Keeping in the anatomical position, we can see there will be a lateral border. Lateral border. Okay. So this one we can see this lateral border is thick comparing to all the other borders. The lateral border is thick, and at the upper portion of the lateral border we can see the glenoid cavity. Glenoid cavity. And this is the superior border. There is a superior border. So this superior border we can see near to the coracoid process there is a notch. Here. Okay. So you can see there is a notch in the superior border. This is known as supraspinous notch. Suprascapular notch. Sorry. Suprascapular notch. This is known as suprascapular notch. So this is the superior border. So the superior border near to the coracoid process there is a notch that is known as suprascapular notch. Suprascapular notch. And this is the medial border. So in the medial border we can see it extends from the superior angle to the inferior angle. Medial border. Here. Superior angle to the inferior angle, medial border. So it is thin comparing to the lateral border. The lateral border is thick and the medial border is thick and large. Then coming to the angles. So there are three angles. This is the lateral angle, this is the superior angle, and this is the inferior angle. So lateral angle, we can see lateral angle is expanded to form a depression, oval shaped depression that is known as glenoid cavity, which articulates with head of our humerus. This is the humerus bone, so it articulates with the head of the humerus, forming shoulder joint. Glenoid cavity articulates with the head of the humerus, forming the shoulder joint. And towards the superior and inferior aspect of the glenoid cavity, we can see two tubercles. Two tubercles can be seen. Here, this is known as infraglenoid tubercle. Infraglenoid tubercle. This one. Then here at the upper portion, here we can see there is a supraglenoid tubercle. Supraglenoid tubercle superiorly. Okay. So there are two tubercles in relation to the glenoid cavity. Inferiorly, this is known as infraglenoid tubercle. Superiorly, supraglenoid tubercle. Supraglenoid, infraglenoid tubercle. Okay. So that is the lateral angle. And then next is superior angle. So this is the superior angle, and superior angle, it is covered by trapezius muscle. Superior angle, it is covered by the trapezius muscle. And this is the inferior angle. Here inferior angle, it will be always covered with latissimus dorsi muscle. Latissimus dorsi. Yep. And so these are the three angles: lateral angle, superior angle, and inferior angle. Okay. Three angles. Then it has three processes. First one is the spinous process. Spinous process. This is the spinous process. Here we can see it is a triangular shaped process. Triangular in shape. Yep. And this triangular shaped spinous process, it's a thin plate of bone, and it has three borders and two surfaces. The spine itself. So the spinous process itself has three borders and two surfaces. Here we can see it divides the. So this spinous process has three borders. It is triangular in shape, so it has three borders and two surfaces. Okay. So we are keeping in anatomical position like this posteriorly. Here this portion, this border, this thickened border, this is known as posterior border. This is posterior border, and here we can see this portion which is attached to the scapula. This is the anterior border. Okay. And it has a lateral border. This is the lateral border. So three borders for the spinous process, and posterior border, anterior border, and lateral border. Like this it will be. Okay. So keeping it in anatomical position. This is the posterior border, this is the lateral border, and this fixed portion which is attached to the scapula surface. Okay. This is the anterior border. So this posterior border, we can see it is thick and prominent. So we can feel the posterior border in the back aspect of our thorax. Okay. So this one. So it has two lips. The two lips can be seen. There is an upper lip and a lower lip. So there is an upper lip and a lower lip. Okay. For the posterior border of spinous process. Okay. So it has two surfaces. Okay. The spinous process has two surfaces. There is a superior surface and an inferior surface. Okay. So spinous process of scapula. So it's a triangular shape structure. Triangular shape, and it has three borders and two surfaces. Okay. Borders are posterior border, anterior border, and lateral border. Okay. And this posterior border itself has a upper lip and a lower lip. Okay, two lips, upper lip and lower lip, and it has two surfaces, a superior surface and an inferior surface. Two surfaces, a superior surface and inferior surface. And this spinous process divide the dorsal surface of the scapula into supraspinous fossa and infraspinous fossa. Okay, so that is the spinous process of scapula. Okay, then next process, this is the acromion process. Acromion process, it is continuation of this spinous process. So here we can see, we are keeping it in the anatomical position. So this acromion process also has two borders. Here we can see, this is the medial border and there is a lateral border. A medial border and a lateral border. Okay, and it has two surfaces, superior surface and inferior surface. So medial border and lateral border, and superior surface and inferior surface. So this is the acromion process. So this acromion process will articulates with our tip of the acromion process articulates with this clavicle like this. So like this clavicle will be coming and attaching to the acromion process of scapula. Okay. Now body. So this is the acromion process. So acromion process has a medial border and a lateral border. It has a superior surface and an inferior surface. So that is acromion process. And next process, this is the coracoid process. Coracoid process, it's a small finger shaped process, or it is a bench process near to the glenoid cavity. Okay. So this is coracoid process. So these are the three processes: spinous process, acromion process and coracoid process. So spinous process, acromion process and coracoid process. Okay, three processes of scapula. So these are the features of the scapula. Okay, so scapula has, when keeping it in an anatomical position, it is an example for flat bone. It's triangular in shape and seen towards the posterior aspect of our thorax. Okay. Then it is also known as shoulder blade. Scapula is also known as shoulder blade, and it has two surfaces: a costal surface or a ventral surface and a dorsal surface. Costal surface is concave and it is attached to related to the ribs. Okay. It is also known as subscapular fossa. And this is the dorsal surface. Dorsal surface is divided into two by the spinous process of scapula. Upper part is known as supraspinous fossa and lower portion is known as infraspinous fossa. So this is the two surfaces: ventral surface and dorsal surface. Okay. And it has three angles: a lateral angle, a superior angle and an inferior angle. It has three borders: lateral border, superior border and medial border. And it has three processes: coracoid process, spinous process and acromion process. The processes. Okay. So these are the features of scapula. So regarding the ossification of the clavicle, that means ossification means formation of the scapula. Regarding the ossification, that is formation of the scapula. So scapula develops from the one primary center and 7 secondary centers. Okay. So the primary center appears near the glenoid cavity, at the 8th week of intrauterine life. 8th week, primary center for the glenoid cavity. Okay. And secondary centers, there will be two secondary center for the coracoid process, which appears at the first year and fuses at 15th year, and two secondary center for the acromion process, and one secondary center for the lower part of the glenoid cavity, and another for the medial border. So another secondary center for the medial border and one for the inferior angle. Okay. So all these 7 secondary centers will fuses with the primary center at about 25th year. So before the 25th year, we can see these parts are separated, scapula. So as a scapula as a full portion, we can see after the 25th year, after the fusion. So fusion will occur at the 25th year. Okay. So while taking X-rays, so you have to keep these things in mind, because the secondary centers, all the secondary centers will be seen as separate parts. So don't confuse with the fracture and all. Okay. So while if there is any confusion, we can see the other side also. If both sides are same, then that means this is the developing stage of the scapula. Okay. So if there is any confusion, we can take X-ray of the opposite side. Okay. Okay, and opposite side is showing the same feature. That means this is normal ossification process. So that is the ossification or a development of the scapula. So it developed from one primary center and 7 secondary center. Okay. All the centers will fuses at 25th year. 25th. Okay. Then regarding the applied anatomy of scapula, so scapula, so this serratus anterior muscle, this is the medial border. So serratus anterior muscle is attached to the medial border of the scapula, and if there is any paralysis for the serratus anterior muscle, it results in winging of the scapula. So paralysis of the serratus anterior muscle causes a condition that is known as winging of scapula. So in that condition, what will happen if we push our opposite to a wall? If we push like this, what will happen? This medial border of the scapula will be prominent, become prominent. And also, after this 90-degree abduction, we can't raise our hands after the 90-degree abduction. Okay. And that condition is known as winging of scapula. So that result in the because of paralysis of the serratus anterior muscle. Okay. And sometimes this, so I will show you the so this is the condition where we can see the winging of scapula occurs. Here we can see this one here, this side of our body. So while pushing, applying force on our hand, we can see this medial border of the scapula become prominent. This one, prominent. So this condition is known as winging of scapula.